The following is a presentation of the Pro Wrestling Report. Informative, entertaining, and real since 1998.
Welcome to PWR Sudden Impact Radio, breaking down all that happened on tonight's Impact Wrestling broadcast on Spike TV. Sudden Impact Radio is on the air.
Good evening and welcome to Sudden Impact Radio on Blog Talk Radio. We are broadcasting live right now during the main event, the two-week tour of England. Well, technically the 2 weeks of TV shows from England, but right now the main event, Bobby Roode and Bully Ray going up against the team of the Cowboy James Storm and the unstable, the Joker-esque icon, the man they call Sting. Hello, I am the man they call Meathead, and thank you for joining us on Sudden Impact Radio tonight. Make sure also that you're checking us out in the chat-osphere and on Twitter using the hashtag Sudden Impact. If you want your tweets read on the air, use the hashtag Sudden Impact. Also, give us a call tonight. You want to join the program. We've got some calls sitting on hold right now, and we'll get to you momentarily, but the numbers, area code 347-996-5278 or 877-317-9772. You want to talk about Impact Wrestling tonight, give us a call. We're going to do it 30 minutes tonight. We're not taking it an hour like we did last week, but we will be coming back with an hour. I promise you that. 30 minutes tonight. We're going to do a solid 30 minutes. Let's talk about some Impact Wrestling. Joining me momentarily, by the way, will be Dwayne. He will be in just a minute. Another great show, another very hot crowd from Wembley Arena in London, England. Or as you heard during the program, Magnus telling you from the United Kingdom. Kind of a swerve, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But let's break down what happened tonight on Impact. We opened the show with Bully Ray hot, and he was saying it. Bully Ray came down to the ring, and by God, even though Bobby Roode is the champion and he is the face of the company, if you will, Bobby Roode is the number 2 heel in the company. Bully Ray, time and time again, delivering the strongest heel promos out of anybody. Dwayne, how did you feel Bully Ray looked in his opening promo with James Storm?
He looked really good. It's amazing how he's progressed. I mean, it's hard to say progressed because he's a veteran, but he's really coming to his own in this Bully Ray character.
Yeah, and you can say progressed only because he's progressed from the character he was, from the Bubba Ray stuttering, glasses with no lenses guy in ECW wearing the tie-dye T-shirts with Devon. He's progressed into, he was kind of a singles monster for a little bit when he was hanging out, with Trish, and he was powerbombing women through tables. He progressed as a tag team wrestler, progressed in TNA. I mean, just since he's been in TNA, besides being the, Bully Ray, besides being Brother Devon and Brother, Ray, he's progressed all the way along. And Bully Ray right now, again, nothing to take away from Bobby Roode. Bully Ray is the number 1 heel in that company. He owns it whenever he walks to the ring.
I like to see him with the title. I'm not going to say I forced her, but my girlfriend's sitting here watching Impact with me, and I was telling her that Bully Ray is in the best shape of his career, really. And promos,
there's the shot right there of those calves.
Absolutely.
Those are the calves. Calves and abs.
I like to see him with the title.
I would too. I just don't think it's time right now. I assume you agree, but I would like to at some point. Taking it off of Bobby Roode right now probably wouldn't make any sense, as we're still watching Sting clear house here. Impact going a little long tonight, but that's okay. I know that you guys are watching and listening to the program. Bully Ray calling out Bobby Roode, shut off my music. Here comes Bobby Roode, shut off his damn music. I've got your back, I got your back. Good heel versus heel promo, where one heel feels like he's been doing all the grunt work for the sneaky heel. You know what I'm saying? So Stinger comes out, again, a loud screaming pops all over the place for Stinger, and books himself in the main event. Sting and Cowboy James Storm versus Bully Ray and Bobby Roode. So that opening promo, the opening sequence is fantastic. Again, the crowd ate it up. The crowd added to what the wrestlers felt and delivery of the wrestlers. I thought they just knocked it out of the park. So what did you think, Dwayne, of our opening match that we had, which was AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels?
I thought it was a good match, actually. I thought it was a good match. They worked hard. The crowd, I mean, what a difference the crowd makes. The guys really, they worked hard. The crowd appreciated it, and they gave them their money's worth.
Yeah, I think so, too. This building to the pay-per-view this Sunday where you're going to see AJ Styles taking on Frankie Kaz again, but Christopher Daniels still pulling the strings with Kaz, and Christopher Daniels forcing as Stinger with the Scorpion Death Drop on the World Heavyweight Champion. And now he's going for the Scorpion. I just don't get it. Again, we're watching the main event here live with you guys as well, and why is this 50-plus-year-old part-time wrestler getting over on the champ?
I just, I don't even understand why Sting was in this match. There's no need for him to be in the match, especially since he's the enforcer. I know that the fans in England wanted to see Sting, and I think there's another way that they could have showcased him as opposed to at the expense of the main eventers.
Yeah, he's tapped it out. And you know what? There is a way to do that. They're called dark matches. They're called off-camera matches. Let's put it out there clear as day. And, again, we'll get to your phone calls in just a moment. We'll put it out there as clear as day. Sting and Hogan sold the tickets on this show.
Yeah.
And on these shows. You put Stinger out there in his commentary role, his in-charge role at the beginning of the program. Fantastic. And you put Stinger in a match off camera. Now, for those of you that read any of the spoilers, again, we try to be spoiler-free. I will tell you that there was a dark match, apparently, where Sting and Hogan came out there and cleared out the heels. Apparently, that was where Kurt Angle showed up, too. Kurt Angle, folks, was on this tour and shows up after these cameras go off the air. Nobody would know that from, being from, watching the program. Nobody would know. Maybe Kurt just doesn't want to be on TV. I don't know what's going on, but that's how you do it. And you don't put these part-time guys, the ones that are selling the tickets. You don't put them over the guys that you're trying to build on a week-by-week basis. So, hey, Dwayne, we're going to stop the Impact recap for a little bit. Let's take some of these phone calls. Some of them have been patiently waiting. We're going to go to the phones. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Regular caller here again. When we take your phone call, make sure you give us your first name and the state that you're calling from. I'm going to call you out by area code. Area code 269. First name and state you're calling from.
David from Michigan.
David from Michigan. Welcome back to the program. Wanted to get to you right away because I know you've been waiting for a little bit. So, David, quickly, what did you think of tonight's Impact?
Where do I start? I mean, there's so much positives for the show, besides how having Sting get over really on Roode, but besides that, I mean, the show, I don't even know where to start. I mean, I love Magnus, the way he cut that promo. It's like, he's like, this isn't UK, this is London. I mean, all this.
I think he had it backwards. He said, this isn't, England.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with the Dutch. I don't have a problem with the Welsh, excuse me. I don't even mind the Irish, which we're in the United Kingdom. Fantastic. And by the way, this needs to be paused. Spike, I understand your programming, but I don't need to watch Ted DiBiase in the Marine. Excuse me.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird. A WE Films comes on after Impact. I was like, really?
Well, anyway. David, anything else you want to talk about before we move on?
I don't know if I'm seeing what I want to see in the Mickie James and Velvet Sky match, but it kind of looked like to me we could maybe be seeing a Mickie James heel turn possibly. What do you guys think about that?
And I appreciate your call. Thank you again for calling in. We'll talk about that in just a second here. Dwayne, I felt it too. I don't know how you felt watching Mickie and Velvet Sky go. I felt Mickie James heelish. When was the last time she was heel? Was it when she came in against Trish Stratus?
Yeah, I think so. And, I mean, Velvet Sky is the top of my list on the knockouts.
Okay, and how does your girlfriend sitting next to you watching the program feel about that?
Well, yeah, I'm going to say she probably doesn't even understand what I'm saying.
You're not the only one, Dwayne. I did have my wife watching. I'd say the first hour and a half. I said, "Sweetheart, it's time for you to leave now."
Right.
So, had stuff to do, but yeah, I had her sitting watching. She also thought they wrestled pretty well. Again, I explained to her that, this isn't a typical, say, Divas. This isn't a slam on WWE, but this is not a typical Divas match where they're slapping each other, kicking each other, and, doing handstands. They're wrestling. They lock up like men, and they wrestle like men. So that's why I enjoy watching the Knockouts wrestle. So, I felt it felt Mickie James heelish to me. Maybe she was just pissed that she lost, but maybe that would be something fresh for the program.
Yeah, I mean, it's about that time. She hasn't done that role, like you said, in quite some time. So she's due for a change.
As we say here in the city, in about a minute. So we're going to go back to the phones. Area code 661. Let us know the first name and state you're calling from. 661. Go ahead.
How's it going, guys? It's Richie from California.
Richie from California. What's going on, Richie? What do you want to talk about tonight?
It feels good to be a wrestling fan. I really enjoyed second week of Impact. It was really fun. I don't know what the whole Star Wars theme was all about. I think they really just kind of, not to hate on Star Wars fans out there, they pretty much just plugged the movie. That's really it. But they made it seem like there was going to be a special edition Star Wars, like maybe you would see like a lightsaber on a pole match or something, but thank God we didn't see that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and, being a WCW fan, I have seen my fair share of skins on a pole match where you're fighting for a leather jacket with Tank Abbott. So I definitely didn't want to see the lightsaber on a pole match. Now, it's not a problem. Spike TV, if you want to watch Star Wars every, say, 4 months or so, they run 4 or 5 of the episodes. So I don't have a problem with that. Lucasfilms has a deal maybe with Spike TV or Viacom, whoever it is. I don't have a problem with them. It wasn't a huge commercial for Star Wars, but yeah, it was a little overdone. But then again, we have to watch Matt Morgan be the office wrestler instead of the office linebacker, people, sliding people up and down a table. But hey, somebody's willing to spend money during TNA Impact. Let them get their money.
That's true, yeah. And you know what? I'm willing to ignore, kind of like your last caller mentioned. There were some negatives, but I felt that Impact was so well done tonight. I'm willing to ignore them for all the positives. I mean, the triple threat match with the X Division was really fun. Velvet Sky has the best entrance in the world right now. The best
now, did you have a female significant other sitting next to you while that entrance happened? Because I didn't.
Well, I'm a real man. I keep her at home. No, I'm just kidding. She hears this. No, yeah, but I really liked it. I guess I don't have the gripes. I guess maybe if I have to pick one specific gripe, and I'll let you go after this.
Sure.
I don't know about Alex Shelley going over Austin Aries. I think that kind of took the steam away a little bit. Not to hate on Williams, but I mean he was kind of the X factor, so to speak. No pun intended with the X Division. But
sure.
It kind of like he was there to take the pin, and I know that against all odds, Shelley and Aries are going to have a great match. But I felt that it kind of took the steam away just a little bit because we saw the champion get pinned by the challenger. And I want to know what your guys' thoughts was on that part specifically. And thanks for having me, guys.
Yep, appreciate it. Dwayne, I'm going to let you fire off on that one. How did you feel the X Division match? And we were going to get to this as we were doing our Impact recap. But how did you feel that went off, the three-way?
I agree with him. I don't think that he should have gone over. And there were some points during the match that it seemed like, some of the bumps were a little, I don't know, maybe serious. It was a difficult match to watch on some levels. I disagree with the ending, but all in all, I enjoyed the match.
And I enjoyed the match as well. I do agree, though, with the finish. Now, I agree with you got to give some sort of legitimacy to a possibility that Shelley can beat Austin Aries for the belt. WWE does this all the time. It happens in wrestling. It's called, like a temperature check, like Frank Costantino would say. You let him get the pinfall before the pay-per-view. Oh, hey, he beat him here. Could have beat him here. And most of the time, the champ's going to get back, that receipt at the pay-per-view. So, you gave up the receipt at the TV taping. Next one, you get your turn. Tit for tat, if you will. So I don't have that problem with it. So, excuse me. We're going to go right back to the phones here. I got area code 973. Area code 973. I want you to give me your first name and the state you're calling from. Go ahead.
Oh, hey, what's up, Meathead? This is Don from New York, #Giants, #Super Bowl champions. How you doing?
All right, # welcome to the program, #. See, I'm not Dave Hero. I don't do that.
Well, I had to rub it in because you're a Packer fan, and you know what the Giants did to the Packers, that's all.
Hey, you know what? The sun shines even on just like the Packers did last year. Nobody thought they had a chance, walked right into the Super Bowl and won. So, it was Giants' turn. Hey, Eli to Victor Cruz made me a little cash, a little scratch, a little fantasy money. So what do you want to talk about tonight?
Well, first off, Gail Kim, very impressive. I thought that was a good video vignette there. Ruined Tara or Victoria, whatever she's calling herself these days, ruined her little video sightseeing tour there. I thought that was cool. Definitely.
It was odd and weird. I thought it was odd and weird that there's a camera filming a woman with a camera. Just me. I thought it was a little odd. Go ahead.
And if they could only bottle that magic that was the crowd there, because you contrast that to the Impact Zone, it's like, I don't even think it does the comparison justice. If they could only bottle that vibe, I mean, I know it's tough. It's like saying if WWE could only bottle, the magic that was the summer with CM Punk in Chicago, that crowd, you know what I mean? But this for just being a regular show, not a pay-per-view, but on the road, I mean, I thought that was fantastic. This lighting and some of the camera angles are like, as the wrestlers are walking up, I was like constantly like getting blared with those huge floodlights in my eyes, I thought some of the camera angles were a little off for me. I would have liked to have seen a ramp like the wrestlers can enter from and be above the crowd. It was kind of weird. It's like, where are they coming out of? Who is that? It was kind of odd. But I understand it's a historic arena, and there's who knows what sort of regulations are there. I don't know. But, I mean, is it to build a stage? I don't know. We're not talking rocket science. But overall, good for TNA to be in England, and more shows away from the Impact Zone, definitely.
I definitely appreciate it. All right, Don, anything else before we let you go? And we're going to talk about the presentation
just to Dwayne, #Pigeon Army.
Pigeon Army, all right. Thank you, Don. Dwayne, Pigeon Army. Now, that's going to lead me into me asking you a question. And it's ironic that, I don't know if you saw my tweet tonight, but I kind of echoed what Magnus said. I said it here. I'm like, out of all the people that they could have put the camera on, her? Really? Did they put the camera on this woman? But then they went back to the guy with the Pigeon Army T-shirt. Fantastic. How did you feel that the presentation and the production value, Dwayne, how did you feel it came off? I agree with Don on some of the points as far as there's some things to work on, but overall I really love the feel of it.
Well, definitely. I mean, it's always room for improvement. Some of the wrestlers, I saw a light in their eyes that I don't remember seeing. Definitely not in the Impact Zone. Just receiving that reception from the fans. I mean, Samoa Joe, for instance, he was engaged and he looked excited and he looked motivated.
Yeah, motivated. Good word. The other thing, and again, echoing what Don had said, echoing the fact that no ramp, they come out and, because some of the fans are taller, they come out with these little guys walking amongst the crowd. I would have liked to have seen a ramp, them walking above, and maybe a ramp right to the ring and build everything back. But then again, they put the ring in the center of the arena so that everybody could have a chance to have a decent view. I also would have liked them to work out the audio issues. Bully Ray's opening promo did sound like he was yelling into the microphone, and you could hear some feedback and echo. But it was great to have real crowd, real arena applause from real fans, not like during the Garrett Hogan promo where we were getting canned stuff. And again, I pointed it right out to my wife. I said, sweetheart, look, they're all cheering, but now listen, look, they're sitting on their hands. They had the candidate for one guy tonight. It was for Hogan, who I can't believe that this is being said. You know, the one guy that should be able to get cheers from anybody across the world. But if you're telling me Garrett Bischoff is the future of the business, I don't want to get you started on it either, because we know what you said last week about Garrett Bischoff. Again, I don't know the guy. I have no idea what kind of person he is, but I'm just telling you, Eric Watts 2012, that's got to stop. It's got to stop.
I mean, you know, I could not believe that he said those words. As soon as they left his lips, I said, wow, they're going all in with this Garrett Bischoff thing. I mean, Hogan's out there pleading, you know, cheer for him too. You know, I mean, it's
and then
with Hogan doing that. That's what's wrong with this Garrett Bischoff push. It's everybody else is it's everything other than him proving himself.
Right. As I was about to say, they're doing the right thing that they think, which is give the guy that's going to get the most cheers, put him with the guy that's not getting any. Hopefully they'll rub off on him. You're absolutely right, though, and we talked about this last week. Hopefully this is just a slow burn. Now after this whole Hogan endorsement, you know, then he can start earning stuff. Let him work his way up. He doesn't have to have an undefeated streak. Let him go heel for a while. You know, you look down the history of the business, some of the best face champions, some of the biggest names in the business had to go heel first to win the respect of the crowd. Triple H, a perfect example. You know, the guy became that heel champion that just kept winning over and over and over. And Triple H finally started earning the respect of the fans. Therefore, now you can treat him as a face, and now you'll cheer when he comes out and does what he does. So, you know, let him wrestle. I mean, I know he's going to be at the pay-per-view wrestling Gunner again, who should hypothetically destroy this guy. I just got this sad feeling that the Garrett Bischoff 2012 push is it's got a lot of steam behind it. And
they're doing it all wrong. I think that if they should align Eric and Garrett together, and like you said, have him be a heel with his father, and have his father, you know, overplaying what he can do. Put him in a team, give him somebody to work with, but he should be a heel, actually.
Yeah, I think so too. It's a good start to make him heel because you know what? He's going to get booed regardless. And why don't you use those boos? Use them for something. We're going to get back to the phones. So let's head on out to area code 773. 773, I need your first name, where you're calling from. 773, go ahead.
Yes, this is Warzone Jones from Chicago, Illinois.
Chi-Town, home of the Chicago Bulls. Now coming, Joakim Noah. He's a bad dancer. And what else did Will Ferrell say last night? You heard those intros, right?
I heard those intros before, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean the Will Ferrell intros for the Bulls last night. Will Ferrell did intros for the Bulls, not Hornets, the Bulls. What's New Orleans' team now?
New Orleans, the Hornets, yeah, it's the Hornets. It's the Hornets.
Yeah, but he did intros. He said, coming up next, Derrick Rose, this man once ate 20 hot dogs in a minute. Anyways, what do you want to talk about at Impact tonight before we waste all your time?
I want to say, I thought Impact was another good show. It was another good show, good wrestling, pretty entertaining. I was entertained. Bully Ray, I like what you said. What you said about Bully Ray might actually be true because Bully Ray is he's very entertaining on the mic. So he's a very good character. He entertains me. He actually, I'm actually enjoying him. His singles run more than I thought he would. And I thought that the show was, it was pretty good. My only problem with the show was not really a problem. It's not a big problem for me. I can live with it. But, they gave Brutus Magnus and Samoa Joe this time as a tag team to get their tag team over strong, legit. So they gave them this promo time. They made them look strong, I thought. But then, Matt Morgan and Crimson come out, and all of a sudden these guys just squash them. So these guys, it's sort of like they were trying to shove Matt Morgan and Crimson down the throats of the fans there in the UK. I just got that feeling. But, you know, these guys, they just smash them, and when they throw them out of the ring, they never get back in after that strong promo time. So it's like they went from looking strong to looking a little weak, at least in my eyes. So what do you guys think about that?
Okay. Well, again, I appreciate your call. Thank you for calling in. Dwayne, I don't know how you feel about that, but I thought it was time for Crimson and Morgan to get some back. We saw Samoa Joe and Magnus roll all over these guys. How many weeks in a row now?
I would say 3.
Yeah, so I didn't have a problem with it. Again, being on the outside of the ring, you know, heel-ish again at the end, did look like they weakened a little. But other than that, the promo, let's talk about it real quick here.